Okay. Hey. Okay. Let me introduce my friend here. My best friend from Reformed Church. At that time, I joined Reformed Church 2001. And then I think we start our relationship there, right? Friendship there, right? Talking about relationship is a bit, sensitive. So we start our friendship 2001, and then and then after that we continue up to now. So Billy is a senior pastor of GRII Kelapa Gading, yeah. And also he has a doctoral degree in philosophy and theology. Am I right? So
in musicology.
in musicology. See? So I have a genius friend here, and then as far as I know, he is the most humble person that I've ever met, and then the most humble friend that I've ever have. Yeah, and then he is a child prodigy. Can I say that? No.
No. Child prodigy in eating potato chips, yes.
Okay. Yeah, and then how should I address you, Dr. Billy, Dr. Chris, Bang Chris, Mr. Chris, Mr. Tanto?
Yeah, just call me Billy. Will do.
Okay. If you say hi, Bill, and then people will give you the bill, and then you have to pay it. So, Bill, good to see you. After how many years ago? No, just now in the afternoon I met you. See. But last time, when was the last time I met you physically? Do you remember? It was last year.
It was last year during the lunch invitation. Is that correct?
During
lunch.
What? Oh,
lunch,
yeah.
Your lunch invitation.
Yeah. So that was 6th of August. So almost about 8 months ago. Yeah. Yeah, and then you haven't changed a lot. Of course, only 8 months. So how are you doing, Bill?
Yeah, okay, relatively good, fine.
Circuit breaker in Singapore.
Yeah, it's getting tighter now.
Yeah. So is it? Are you bored at home or?
Well, to a certain extent, I think we all experience this kind of boredom, but the question is how to overcome this boredom with interesting things to do.
Yeah, that's true. Okay, like we said, we are going to use English to talk to each other, and then our English will be how you call that? Is Java. Is
Javlish.
Is
Javlish.
Plus Singlish as well, because we are in Singapore, and I also graduated from Singapore Bible College, so we remember some Singlish thingy. Yeah. Why we are using East Javlish? Because both of us from East Java, yeah. So I'm from Surabaya. You are from Gempol.
Yeah, I'm from Gempol.
Okay, by the way, Gempol is Gempol near Porong?
Yeah, it's just 1 kilometer from Porong.
So you must have bought a lot of ote-ote Porong, yeah, Bill?
Oh yeah, certainly. That's a must.
That's a legend, yeah, ote-ote Porong. By the way, friends, Billy has a good voice, tenor voice as well. So luckily he didn't sing. He doesn't sing. If he sing, then no one wants to listen to my voice because his voice. Yeah.
This long time ago already, not conducting a choir, so I don't sing. I mean, since maybe more than 1 year.
Maybe one day GDC should invite you to conduct us, yeah. Do you drive now, Bill?
No, still.
Yeah, still the same, yeah.
Yeah, still the same, yeah.
Yes.
Like the Indonesian song. Aku masih seperti yang dulu.
Oh. Oh, finally you sing. Thank God that you are not from a mental hospital. If you see that. But anyway, I'm still my ministry more is on the choir, rehearsing choir and programming concert and all. Yeah, I find out that before this thing happened, the pandemic, COVID. Of course, during rehearsal and of course, and then near the concert, I always say to my choir member, we have to give our best to the Lord. Of course, in my when I say to them giving our best, I say to them we are responsible for every note that is come out from our mouth, every word, every syllable that comes, that is coming out from our mouth. We are responsible that to God. So we need to learn the music well. We need to prepare ourselves well. And then in that way, we can give our best to the Lord. Yeah. Of course, if you think of this, of course, they try to do it. Of course, they try to do it. Regardless, it's a bit too late for them. Because, I don't know whether in Singapore have this kind of problem or in Kelapa Gading you have this kind of problem. Choir rehearsal is a bit, how you say, I myself have a problem with choir rehearsal in terms of attendance, because many times, almost all the time, we cannot have full attendance. Even sometimes, bad times, we only have 50% or even 40%. And then near the concert, suddenly become almost everybody there. Maybe 1 month or 2 weeks before the concert, everybody there. In a way, I understand the difficulty of each members because they all layman, they need to work. They don't live, from making music or something like that. So they have their own responsibility from their works, for their family and all. Yeah, I understand that. But I think, but still maybe some also have some kind of habit of coming late every rehearsal. That also many times disturb me. Yeah, I don't know what do you think about this. Yeah, because I think giving our best to the Lord in choir ministry, every rehearsal is very important for me as conductor. So when people tend to they don't come every time, it really disturbs me. What do you think about it, Gil?
Maybe we should identify also the choir members to have a right mindset. In this case, to treat the choir practice not only as a, how you call it, superfluous hobby. Well,
What?
anyway, if it superfluous hobby. But even when we still wants to use the word hobby, I mean, we still can treat it in a more professional way. I mean, maybe learning from the Western, for instance. I mean, they have a lot of weakness, of course, but we can learn also from their from the beauty of their culture. Namely, when they call it hobby, meaning it's not just simple pleasure, but they really dig into their hobby. They have books about their topics. They do research, and we can even consider that hobby as a second job. If, for instance, someone lose the job, then suddenly can just switch to that so-called hobby, because it's not just a killing time activity, but it's something. It's like a second calling.
Wow.
And I think that concept is quite beautiful. So yeah, of course, we cannot have too many hobbies in our lives. If we want to go deeper, you can choose 1 or 2 or 3 maximum. But then you develop seriously in that hobby. So it's not just a kind of leisure time, but quote unquote something like a second calling, again, second vocation or something like that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, but if you let's say that's a good thing. I just knew about it, and then but if you let's say we want to link this to the Colossians 3:24, what is your opinion about it? Should I read the verse?
Yeah, I think we should read the context.
Yeah. So I read for everybody Colossians 3, chapter 3, verse 23-24. Whatever you do, work at it with all your heart, as working for the Lord, not for men. Since you know that you will receive an inheritance from the Lord as a reward. It is the Lord Christ you are serving. Yeah.
Yeah, this is looking at the context. I mean, the setting in book in the Colossians chapter 3 is the so-called how you call it in English. I suddenly forgot. Household Tafel is in German. Yeah, Tafel, maybe household table. I mean, literally translated into English. This is usually in a not only in the Christian episode, but also in comparison to other ancient letters. Usually will come this kind of household tables. I mean, how to conduct in the family, in this case, between wives and husband, and then you have the parents to children and servants to their masters. And then after discussing all this context, Paul moves to the a general principle, namely the verse 23, that whatever we do, we should do it, we should work heartily. I mean, out of the deepest of our heart, as for the Lord and not for men. So whether it's in the context of the relation between husband and wife, or children and their parents, or servants and their masters, we should do everything out from our heart, meaning it should create a kind of how you call it, internal spirituality instead of external spirituality. When something's become external, then you don't do it you do it as a duty, you know? I mean, you're forced to do a lot of things. You're forced to come on time. You are being forced to learn the notes and so on, and etc. And that's not the essence of Christianity. I think it's more like an external religion, so to say.
Oh,
so
okay.
we have a choice also here during the choir practice or making music, whether you do it as an external duty or you view it again like Colossians 3 chapter 23 as something that flows out from your heart, meaning internally you enjoy, internally you have the enjoyment and the pleasure and so on.
So it has something to do also with our spirituality. Am I right?
Certainly, yeah.
So like the verse before, chapter 3, verse 17, and whatever you do, whether in word or deed, do it. Sorry, verse 17. Yeah, whether in word or deed, do it all in the name of the Lord Jesus, giving thanks to God to Father through Him. So yes, it is about our whole life as all aspects of our whole being, our life. That as we are Christian, we cannot separate this and that, because this is our whole life.
Mm-hmm.
All aspects of our life and everything we do, we need to do it to give the best to the Lord. Yeah, but now we are talking about the choir ministry. So how you think that we can make them realize how important the importance of giving the best to the Lord, and also the importance of every rehearsal in the choir and those kind of things? Or should you just say, you talk about the spirituality or other things?
I think first of all, the most important reason is because, I mean, God already also give the best to us. So I think this reason already should suffice to motivate us to give in return, to give the best to the Lord also, because our Lord also give the best to us. We should always remember and contemplate this the beauty of Good Friday and Easter Sunday.
Okay.
Yeah, the sacrifice that Jesus has done for us, and to live everything, I mean, our lives as a kind of gratitude or thanksgiving towards the Lord. So if you do it out of, again, gratitude, thanksgiving, then you will not feel the pressure of this external religion you get bored, or you feel tired, and so on and so on. In many cases, when we are tired, and whether it's spiritually or also physically, and also psychologically, perhaps also, that we, in this time, precisely in this time, we lack kind of thanksgiving or gratitude. Yeah.
Okay.
Meaning we have to deepen again our awareness of God's grace to us, God's love to us. They always give us the right motivation.
That will motivate us to give our best to the Lord, even if it is only just a rehearsal. Yeah. So talking about choir nowadays, sometimes I feel a bit how you say, a bit sad, if I may say, if we divide choir in Christians. Yeah. So that maybe it is just my the way I divide the three kinds of choir. One is a worship choir, meaning you have to sing maybe on certain Sunday during the worship service, or every month, once a month. The other one will be like a society choir, like the Cantores Society, like Gloria de Cantores, like Eliata Choir, like Jakarta Festival Chorus. This group is a Christian group, but we are performing, but we perform Christian music, so we call it sacred music. And then the other one will be, now recently is more and more is a competition. Also competition, they have also a sacred song. Sometimes I feel that people are more motivated. Well, this is, of course, this is normal. This is because we are human beings. When we do for a competition, we all like, we give everything, even every rehearsal, even 3 or 6 hour rehearsal a day. We will commit in doing that. Yeah. I don't judge those people who join competition. That means they don't glorify God. No, that's not what I mean. But sometimes I feel that society choir, the performer choir, and also even the worship choir, I think we need to have that kind of eagerness to give our best, because we know that we are not just singing for the people, we are singing for God. Yeah. So nowadays, like in the churches, I see many churches already. Worship choir is not that really important, so people tend to they don't give them the chance to sing, or lesser chance to sing in the worship service, which is, for me, is quite sad. Whose fault is this? I don't know. Yeah, we cannot blame the conductor, we cannot blame the singers, but in a way it's quite sad. And then when the people say, you know why we don't include the choir in the worship, because the choirs tend to bring down the worship, the flow of the worship. Because
what does it mean? Can you explain more? I mean, I would be interested to know more.
Yeah, maybe because they don't give the choir chance to sing in the worship, because the choir simply don't sing well, so it doesn't enhance the worship itself.
Oh,
so, yeah, it's quite sad though. But but that
sorry,
happens.
if I may interrupt, it doesn't enhance the worship by doing what? I mean, by singing wrongly, or what is the reason?
Yeah, I don't dare to sing wrongly, but it doesn't sound beautiful. So that maybe they sing flat, maybe they sing out of tune and those kind of thing. Yeah,
can be many factors. Like, I mean, sometimes we also hear the complaint like, well, they always sing in Latin and we don't understand Latin. I mean, as if we go back to the medieval period. I mean, as if the reformers were in vain in insisting on the local folks language and so on. I mean, it could be many reasons why the congregation complained. Perhaps it's being too elitist, the song, that they don't have the enough appreciation, or I mean the piece getting higher and higher, so become it's a kind of transcendental realm. So I mean maybe the only benefit that the congregation can take is that you should be humble because you cannot sing like us. So it's rather funny.
Well, we don't know about that, Bill. Who knows? From the congregation, they many people can sing better than us.
No, I mean we always have to listen to the not that we want to please the congregation, of course, but I mean to know their feedback, to because they are the one who, of course, we sing to God, but also we sing to bless them, right? So those people, I mean those audience
Yeah.
should be asked also what they think about the choir and so on.
Oh, okay.
How they perceive us, how they perceive the song, the piece, and so on.
Okay, so we need to ask them that also, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, because I feel that sometimes even I cannot say who is wrong in this, because sometimes when worship choir in the church, you have limitation for having people to sing, especially in not so big church. Those people who join because they just love to sing, and then maybe they don't have that super quality to sing, but they are eager to sing, and then sometimes maybe the choir director or the choir trainer, the conductor, give them the song too difficult for them. That is also can be the case, so that they by giving them too difficult music and then they sing awfully. Yeah, but I maybe I would like to, how you say, we should think about this in the future, as a choir director or choir conductor. We should know our choir well, and then as for the singers, I think we all need to have that kind of self how you say realization that can we sing or we cannot sing. If we know that we cannot sing, maybe we better find another field of ministry. That's what I think about.
You do audition, by the way, for that choir member. I mean, to join the choir.
For my choir, yes. I mean, for Gloria de Cantores, Jakarta Festival Chorus, yes. But church choir is a bit difficult to do that. Should we do it?
Sorry, which choir again? Say it again. Which choir?
GDC, the one that also Jakarta Festival Chorus. Also, of course, we have audition. But I think for church choir, do you think we do it as well?
Well, I believe simply in the in the Bible it's written that the congregation have special gifts, right? So we believe that God will provide such people to be involved in certain ministry, and I believe a church that is blessed with spiritual gifts, and we should find those kind of right people who are talented to sing. I mean, God's given talent. Is with them. So I think it's also okay to do the audition for church choir.
So friends, GDC who are watching us now, is I think we should start doing that, doing audition for any choir that in the church. I think that's true, Bill. Otherwise, if you don't give audition, it's also making the conductor itself, difficulties. When you rehearse and they cannot sing, and then you get pressed out because simply we don't do that.
Yeah, and the most important thing is that God will not demand what He never gives. I mean that's the basic principle. When it is God's given, then God will demand from you also, because it's given by God. But when God never gives that talent, then He will not demand. I mean, in that spatial area, not everyone can play the piano, or not everyone can preach, not everyone even can be an usher and so on. And I believe also not everyone should necessarily sing in the church choir.
Oh yeah, that's true. Yeah. Thank you for that, Billy. Now we are talking about what happened in the past, and then we are talking about now the future. I mean the present time. Last week I talked with I called my conducting teacher, my mentor. He's like my own father in in music ministry. You know who is that? Yeah, Reverend Lee Chong Min. And then we talk about what happened now, and then we are talking, and then I am asking him, so when this thing happened, what are you doing, Reverend Lee? So he says something like, we used to be have a rehearsal together with choir members. We used to have a fellowship together when we meet physically, everyone. And then now suddenly everything stopped, and then we become sort of lonely, you say. Because you cannot see those choir members and they would have rehearsal together, cannot have fellowship. And then he says something like, now I'm doing more like contemplation. Yeah, so that is happening. Of course, nowadays, like my two choirs, GFC and GDC, and GFC, we're doing like virtual choir. So of course that is not. I don't say that is bad. That is good. Everybody are doing that, and then that keeps the member of the choir member to be still active and then excited about singing. But somehow I mentioned to you in this afternoon, somehow I feel a bit guilty, because of course I cannot hear them as a choir, and then not everybody's sending the recording to me to listen to each person. Even though I listen to them one by one, still it's not the same as you have them together, sing together, and then you make the blend so that the sound will be beautiful. Yeah. So that's what's happening now. And then also rehearsal is also a bit difficult. Now we are using Zoom. It's lecture like, direction. So I need to tell them about the detail, the phrase, how you breathe, what syllable you emphasize, and so on, the detail thingy. And also sometimes you mentioned about the text. That's all that we can do right now. But I want to ask you, in this kind of in this time of uncertainty, what can we do as choir members or conductors in giving best to the Lord?
Yeah, that's an important question. Maybe I will be more in line with what Reverend Lee Chong Min doing. I mean, to celebrate this moment is a contemplation, not hibernating mode. Okay, but seriously, the Ecclesiastes chapter 3, it said that everything is beautiful in its own time. So everything has its season, its kairos. So we should be thankful that in the past there was the season that we can join together, singing in bodily presence and have fellowship in bodily presence, spiritually as well. And now comes the different time. So I think it's also ordained by God. I mean, that's what we learned from Ecclesiastes. And we don't try to go to the other season. When you are in the raining time or when you are in the snowing time, then you will use thick clothes. You will not force yourself and pretend yourself to be in the spring. That's not what the Ecclesiastes said, actually. I mean, as you can witness also the choir practice with Zoom and so on has a lot of limitations. So why don't just we receive God's sovereignty, God's ordination during this time, that we can listen more rather than singing more. So enjoy the beauty of being passive, being taught, being served, being sung. I don't know whether such word give. So it's not you who are active, but you who are not being served, and try to enjoy to come to come to terms with this kind of condition also. And then when the season change, then again we can beautifully celebrate the coming of the spring, the coming of the restored time again. So I will enjoy this kind of time in doing a lot of book reading, but perhaps also music appreciation, those kind of thing. Don't force yourself to be always productive and always have the result of doing something, etc. Because everything has its season.
Everything has its season. Yeah. Wow, that's good. But me myself, I miss listening to them singing.
Yeah, of course. Yeah. All of us.
And then now, as we heard, as we talk to our choir members, most of them they will sing. I miss singing together in the choir. I miss the rehearsal. I think it's a bit late. How you say? About regret the later.
Well, you want to nyukurin them, nyukurin. What's that?
See, I was.
That's the one of the shortest meaningful single syllable in Indonesian. Kan. I told you so many times, you don't want to believe me.
You never
kan.
Kan. We translate kan as what? See? I told you. Okay. That's good. So it's more like that's true. Maybe this is a time for us to contemplate, to learn more, and then that's true. And then how? Okay. By the way, we are talking almost 1 hour after this because the Instagram live only limited to 1 hour. Yeah, cut, and then I will invite you back to, or you will. I will invite you back to join.
It's already 1 hour.
Yeah, on almost 1 hour in about 13 minutes, I think.
I think we should let the audience also to give some opinion and so on. Yeah,
we will. Yeah, all of you can type some comments, and then later on we have question and answers time. Yeah, you can.
Actually, they already did. As I can see. Yeah.
So everybody, if you see beside your comment box, you have that question mark. You can press that, and then you can write your question. Do you see that? Yeah. Already 3 people asked. Okay. Anyway, before the thing. So let's say if everything already passed, this pandemic over. So what you think that we need to do?
I will start again from not from the practical side, but rather from the direction of our heart. I think we should be thankful, and then we should love God more and more. I mean, to appreciate more the beauty of each moment. Hopefully, when it goes better, then we can serve more faithfully, do more works for the Lord, to love other fellow human beings deeper, to appreciate more this bodily fellowship, not only in this kind of virtual fellowship, etc. I think start from the heart first, and then everything else will,
that's right.
Will come after that.
Yeah, that's true. So hopefully after all this pass, and then we don't know when will this end. Could be a few months, could be years. We don't know, but hopefully by the time that this all ends, and that we can be more faithful to God, we can be more diligent in serving God, be serious in what we are doing for God. Yeah, I hope that will be every choir member, every choir ministry people will do. Yeah, that's good. Okay. Hold on. So I think we want to open for question and answer time now, Bill, if you don't mind. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, let me see. Wah, tadi pertanyaannya hilang Tadi ada orang 3 yang lain. Okay, here. By Hao Chun Yang, this is Andri from GDC. Do you think as a church music conductor should be actively looking for members? Some conductor is not from the church. Huh? What do you mean? Do we think as a church music conductor should be actively looking for members? Some conductor is not from the church. Maybe because those nowadays there are churches who invite conductor not from the church itself, and then being to be the choir director of that worship choir or something like that. Should they also actively invite members to join in? Maybe that's the question.
Should those hired conductors looking for new members? I think it's more the responsibility of the church. I mean, to promote good music and to encourage new members to join their choir. I think instead of the hired conductor. I don't know.
Oh, okay, yeah. That's the responsibility not only for the conductor, but more on the church or even the choir members themselves.
Yeah.
Okay, next question, Bill. Do you think the future of classical choir will be different after such incidents, after this pandemic? We know the future is changing now.
Like, for instance, how? I cannot imagine.
Okay,
there will be more Stockhausen and John Cage or what?
Well, John Cage, what is that? That 433? Well, that's the only piece that I can play in piano. Sorry.
What do you mean by change? I mean, maybe you can say more concretely.
Because this is a question: do you think the future of classical choir will be different after such an incident? Meaning, maybe after this, what happened now, compared to the previous when we do the concert, we sing in the worship and everything, and then the future will be different after this thing.
How will it be different? That's my question. Can you give me some examples, maybe? Or maybe you are the one who should answer, because it's.
But I think because if this thing passed already, I think we also meet together and rehearse together. But if let's say this will go on for like forever. So what will happen? I also don't know, Bill. Do you know?
It sounds very pessimistic now. Forever. I mean, that we will sing in heaven and in the heavenly choir.
That's right. That's beautiful. Yeah.
We still have eschatological choir anyway.
Eschatological choir. Yeah.
No, yeah, but again, to go back to the old point. Whether it will change or not, I think it depends on how we value or how we feel our present now. Again, if you invest your time to study music and to learn more, to listen more, then it will certainly change. I mean, after everything goes back to normal, then it will change because our music appreciation is changing also. But if we do nothing during this quiet time, then it will not change anything. Aku masih seperti yang dulu.
Aku masih, let's sing that once more. Masih seperti yang dulu.
And that's bad thing, I mean, not changing is actually a bad thing.
Yeah. So I think we should change our topic, become aku masih seperti yang dulu. Yeah. Okay. Okay. Let's go to the next question, Bill. Okay. What could be done differently in conducting an amateur choir versus a professional choir?
Maybe you should share your experience.
For me, the different thing. Okay, you need to see first if you are a conductor, how capable you are. That's an important thing. Of course, if you are not, if you have that kind of high standard, then I think both amateur and professional is similar. But in a way, in professional choir, maybe you will rehearse them more easy because they can get what you mean like that very quick. But for amateur, maybe they are kind of slower than the professional choir. But not always. Amateur, sometimes they have good choir members as well. But that's the thing. But one thing that I believe that we should not be satisfied what we are doing when we teach them. We should demand more to your choir member. We believe that they can do more for. I think that's the thing that I believe. Even you are teaching just a worship choir, and then their standard is not very high, you still can demand something for them to sound better. Yeah. So any choir that you face, you need to have that kind of thinking that you want to make this choir sound better. And then of course the standard will be different in a way, but we need to have that kind of mind. Yeah, I don't know whether that answer your question. Okay, next. Should Christian student make a choir group in campus? Why? Should or not? Because my campus is Singapore Bible College, and then we have two choirs there, and I'm music student side. Maybe you, Bill.
Of course, it's not wrong. I mean, you can participate musically in the university, in the campus, and so on. But again, don't forget your church, because the church is actually the place where you should develop all the good things. I mean, when you read the music history, and we learn about this kind of how you call it, an unfortunate shift, perhaps, or maybe, I mean, depend on which perspective you're going to use. But all the beautiful music were actually done in the church, and all the best composers were in the church. And then after those establishment of the opera house and so on, then many people are more attracted to that quote unquote secular realm or secular activities, quote unquote, of course. And not many people are interested to sacrifice their time, their talent for the church. And then, the church now became almost synonymous, become synonymous for the amateur musician and amateur choir, and so, whereas the professional always sing in those concert hall, in the opera house, and so on, which I find it unfortunate, actually. I mean, so that's why you should not forget where you belong, namely your church.
Yeah. Okay, that's good. So meaning even the performing choir, society choir, like GDC and JAWS and everything, we should still sing in the worship service. Although we are not, the worship choir of the church, we can go somewhere to churches and sing. That is good. Yeah. So let's see, and some other question. Is there any more question here? It's only 4 questions here. Oh, should church choir require certain number of attendance or absency before the member can join the ministry for that week?
Yeah, it's a practical question. Usually I require more or less 75%
of
attendance. Yeah, 75% of the. I mean, when you have to know this piece, you start from which date or which week, and you try to count after the end, the last session, the last practice, the last rehearsal before we sing. Then it should, you should attend that choir practice at least 70 or 75%. I think it's quite reasonable. I don't know what's your number.
Yeah, it's about that. But let's say the person who are not fulfilling that 75% of attendance, and they are able to sing, they have the ability to sing on the spot. I mean, what will you do? You will just you will stop them, he or she, from joining that.
Of course we will not be that legalistic if that's where you're heading. I mean, your question. But
okay.
For me, the choir singing, I mean, choir ministry is not just about technical ability, right? I mean, it's also a humility to be in the fellowship with other singers, with the other choir members, and so on. I think it belongs to the requirement as well, and not only your technical ability to sing.
So you don't try to be a VIP member, yeah?
No.
Yeah. That's a very bad attitude, I think. Yeah, so that everybody knows. No matter how good you are, I think you still need to come for rehearsal. Even for me, as a soloist, when I was invited to sing in a concert, I will crazily practice my part, so that when we are invited, when our time to have a rehearsal with orchestra, and then with the conductor, everything, more or less everything is there. So that will be our responsibility. Yeah. So let's see some other question. Can you see the question, Bill?
No, I wonder where you get the question actually.
You have that question mark, Bill? Or maybe on me I can see. Okay. Music. Oke, genre musik dan instrumen apa yang benar untuk musik gereja dan apa dasarnya?
Bisa explore ini ya, apa banyak jenis genre, of course. Maksudnya kita nggak ada one single wholly correct, theologically correct genre atau apa, kan bukan itu kali ya maksudnya.
Yeah.
Tapi whether you choose that genre, then what is your justification? I mean, can you justify first of all the text, whether it's teaching the right doctrine or not, whether the text is biblically sound, and then you try to check the structure of the music, the form, the melody, whether it's good melody or not, the rhythm, the harmony, etc., and then finally your way of presenting the music, of course, is also very important. I mean, don't destroy the beauty of the music with a bad performance or bad presentation. So all these three: content, form or structure, and presentation.
Okay. Yeah, agree. Well, there is a question coming. So sorry, just now, some questions are not, answered. How choir members have congregation to sing? Huh? How choir members will have congregation to sing in the service?
Maybe sometimes you can try to choose for pieces that can let the congregation joining you. I mean, in singing, I'm thinking of, some of the Bach cantatas actually is always hymns connected. But again, the problem is that, those hymns are now even not familiar for us. So we need to introduce those hymns again to the congregation, so that they can feel the connection between this, church music, the how you call it, I don't like this distinction actually, the difficult music like Johann Sebastian Bach and so on, and the hymn itself. So there is a kind of bridge when you listen to many of Bach cantatas, and I believe not only Bach, but also many other composers. That's what we're missing, I think, right now. The connection between the normal hymn singing and the figured music.
Yeah. I understand your point. Yeah, even some of composers, they write, they rearrange hymns and then some part of it they included congregation to sing.
Yeah.
And they sing the melody, and then the choir will sing the harmony, or the soprano will sing the descant, those kind of thing. That can be done. Yeah. Let me see there. Okay. Another question from Michael Wong. How do you think if church do not support church choir itself, how church choir should respond to it?
Yeah. You mean the church leaders, or?
I think so.
Is it? Yeah, it's difficult. If we follow Calvin, I mean, you try to talk to the lesser magistrate. So after the church leader who are next, you can talk to that person perhaps.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. And if still doesn't work, I try to find a new church perhaps.
Yeah, that's the easiest, the easiest way to do it. But I think maybe we can do something about it. Maybe we need to prove ourselves first that we can sing, that we are worth to sing in the service in a way, and then. But of course, it will take time to do that. It will take a lot of perjuangan. What is that, perjuangan? Yeah, a lot of even you have to, sometimes you have to cry and all. You have to fight for it, and then one day, hopefully, the leaders will see, actually the choir sound good, and then they are able to praise God. They are able to give blessing to other people. I think that will be also possible. Of course, that will not be easy. Yeah. Do you think so, Bill? Or you just moved church, yeah?
No. That was the last resort, actually. you should struggle first, of course. And after that, if everything is not possible, you can pray to God to find another church. That's the last resort.
Okay. Okay, let's move to another question. Yeah. Okay, somebody asked about contemporary Christian music. How do you view it, Bill? I think this one you answered, Bill.
We should be selective. I mean, the beauty with the traditional or old music is that you don't really need to select, right? Because it's already selected proven by time. Yeah, it's already proven. So it's easier to access, etc. But with the contemporary music, I think you should be more careful to select, and because not every contemporary music is good. So that's why we need to choose the best from those collections.
Yeah. Nowadays, actually, there are some good composers. They compose good Christian music. That's what we are doing with GDC and even GSC. We find some good composers like Cantores and some other. We know their faith, and then as we read the text and the music and the structure and everything, it is really beautiful. That we can use. But of course, if you want to talk about contemporary Christian music, maybe before you use that in the worship, you need to ask some opinion, maybe your pastor, or maybe you ask Billy or some other people who are more, who can answer or who can look through at the text and know the music. I think that's the answer, yeah, Bill. Yeah. Okay, next, yeah, Bill. Bentar ya.
Maybe we can switch to Indonesian now, no?
I'm not sure. Everybody from Indonesia here? Okay. So is singing a spiritual gift? Can a Christian say he or she cannot sing? Hi, Tony. Tony is here. Our partner in crime. Okay.
Gimana ya, maksudnya ini kan kita tadi differentiate between ini ya, the invitation to sing for every members of the congregation and as a member of the choir. Itu two different thing kan ya. Maksudnya gini, kalau ngomong tentang karunia rohani, spiritual gifts, and misalnya contoh yang lain ya. Kita juga bilang penginjil itu karunia gitu kan ya. Penginjil itu karunia. Yet on the other hand, we also believe that every Christian itu ada panggilan untuk memberitakan Injil gitu kan. Jadi kita bedain antara universal calling with a particular spiritual gift that one receive from God. You can almost extend the principle to any other areas as well. With the pengajaran juga gitu kan ya. Ada orang yang punya gift pengajar, tapi on the other side, tugas teaching itu kan juga entrusted to every Christian believer gitu kan ya. Bukan cuma tuh Sunday school teacher atau theological lecturer dan sebagainya gitu. So the same applies to ini singing gitu. Oke lah, kita di Alkitab memang nggak ada ini sih ya. Spiritual gift singing kan memang nggak ada ya. Cuma maksudnya let's say kita talk about a certain God's special talent, God's special given talent gitu ya. Certain orang lebih talented in music di dalam hal ini gitu ya. Tapi tugas penyanyi kan itu untuk semua orang Kristen. So in that sense ya, every Christian is called to sing, whether dia talented or not talented in music gitu.
Okay. So if he or she cannot sing but he feels talented, how?
Hah? Should meet Ndaru to
meet me,
to be counseled.
Okay. And I'll bring it to you. Okay, let's move on. How do you think about expression of worship? Our topic is melebar, yeah. Actually, we are talking about giving our best to the Lord, but maybe we still can look at. How do you think about expression of worship, Bill?
What kind of expression of worship ya, maksudnya?
I don't know. Maybe when we sing or something, if we connect this to choir ministry or singing.
Expression ya. Expression is a big term. I mean, ke arah mana ya? Mungkin ngangkat tangan gitu ya? Mungkin ke arah sana bukan sih ya? With the bodily expression atau ya? Ke arah mana ya pertanyaan?
Yeah, I also don't know. That's the question. Yeah. About bodily.
Ya, mungkin inilah jawaban apa itu. I switch to Indonesian ya now.
Okay.
So, kita can be more relaxed also to talk in Indonesian. Still with Japanese accent. Gini ya. Expression itu gini. Basically what we do in worship itu kan kind of response gitu ya. Jadi it depends on what we receive before. Jadi kita itu digerakkan oleh apa, lalu terus kemudian kita itu express as a kind of response daripada apa yang kita terima terlebih dahulu gitu. Maksudnya ini sesuatu yang nggak bisa di fake gitu, nggak bisa nggak bisa dipalsu gitu loh. Yang bahaya itu ekspresi yang dari bawah gitu. Maksudnya nggak ada sesuatu yang menggerakkan, tapi terus kita try to express ourselves. Then it becomes a kind of aliran ekspresionisme ya di sini ya. Kayak lukisannya Edvard Munch, The Scream gitu misalnya, atau apa. Then you can scream during your singing atau apa. Actually, no one is interested to listen to your scream atau your expression if that's a kind of expression that comes from below, so to say. Not as a response, tapi sesuatu yang kita I want to express myself gitu. Rada narsisistik kan ya, maksudnya worship yang kayak begitu gitu. Because it's not about us, itu kan about the beauty of God, the glory of God gitu. Terus kita punya being touched dengan itu, terus kita respon, kita menanggapi gitu. Itu yang sehat gitu. Coba perhatiin ekspresinya dewa-dewa Baal gitu kan, very ekspresif sampai pakai pisau-pisau lagi gitu ya. Sampai berdarah-berdarah dan sebagainya. Itu highly ekspresif gitu, tapi itu ekstrem ini ekstrem self-expressionisme, ultra ekspresionisme.
Okay. Tapi how we can say that's from below ekspresi yang dari bawah or that's just is a response from our personal worship, that kind of thing. We cannot judge that, right?
We can know, of course. I mean, we can introspect. Apakah kita itu memang kalau pinjam istilahnya ini ya, Collosians, perkataan Kristus dengan segala kekayaannya diam di antara kamu. Itu kalimat kan mendahului ini ya, lalu kamu saling menyanyi satu dengan yang lain, menyanyikan nyanyian rohani. Itu kan sebelum itu kan bicara tentang perkataan Kristus with all the richness gitu ya, that dwell in us. Baru setelah itu followed by that invitation to sing one to another gitu. So I think it's important ya to have this richness of the word of Christ that dwell among us. Otherwise ya again itu dari bawah gitu kan. Itu just ekspresi dari bawah yang nggak menarik.
Nggak menarik ya. Okay, let me see some other question. What function does church choir serves? What function does church choir serves?
Saya di pertemuan ini ya, choral camp yang lalu di dekat daerah Bandung, saya bahas bagian itu. Mungkin sedikit pengulangan ya, kalau sudah pernah ini ikut gitu. Basically ini, kita kalau bicara Christ threefold office itu kan ada king, terus ada priest, ada prophet gitu kan ya. Paling nggak two of them lah dalam hal ini ya. Prophet di dalam pengertian, of course kita tahu sekarang ini ya jabatan prophet cease ya kalau according to Reformed theology gitu, but we still believe that the function of a prophet itu masih ada gitu, fungsi nabi ya, as a function bukan as an office gitu. Prophet itu meaning kita preaching the word of God gitu kan ya. Maksudnya lagu-lagu yang baik itu kita believe even kalaupun kata-kata nggak literally 100% langsung kata-kata Alkitab, but we still believe that every good sacred music itu kan at least text wise itu harusnya ini ya biblical gitu loh maksudnya, teaching the right doctrine and so on. So we can preach through music. Di dalam hal ini itu kita seperti preacher gitu. Ini prophetic function. Jadi choir members itu preach the word of God through music. Nah itu kalau kita baca di dalam Lutheran Theology of Music, orang-orang seperti Pretorius misalnya ya, itu dia mengembangkan konsep seperti ini. Itu very much alive di dalam Lutheran Theology of Music by the way. Yang lain, gambar yang lain itu adalah ini fungsi priest ya. Nah fungsi priest ini menarik ya. Saya mungkin bahas agak sedikit elaborate di sini ya. Kalau di zaman dulu di gereja di Eropa itu biasanya choir itu ditaruh di balkon gitu. Balkon itu meaning dia itu facing the altar, maksudnya along with the congregation. Choir members itu facing the altar gitu. Whereas sekarang kan nggak tahu ya mulai kapan, mungkin sejak perubahan arsitektur church became a theater like gitu kan ya. Terus semuanya jadi berubah, maksudnya preachernya sendiri juga kayak pemain teater. Ini serius maksudnya. Sangat theatrical gitu kan, dengan all peragaan. Saya bilang ini dalam pengertian positif ya, not necessarily negative way gitu. So the same juga, maksudnya choir itu jadi mulai ke arah performance like kan ya. Oke lah, ada tempatnya untuk itu gitu. Tapi kita mesti hati-hati untuk nggak confuse ini ya, gereja itu terus become again a theater hall atau concert hall atau apa gitu, which akhirnya losing that priestly function itu tadi gitu. Priestly function itu ini ya to be differentiated from prophetic function gitu. Prophetic function itu kan kita represent God ya, kita represent God to speak before the congregation gitu kan ya, to speak before human beings. Jadi facing-nya itu adalah kita facing itu bersama dengan Tuhan menghadap ke jemaat. That will be the prophetic function gitu. Tapi kalau kita bicara priestly function ya, priest itu kan representing the people of God gitu. Jadi bukan facing the congregation, tapi facing the altar actually gitu. Nah, of course we cannot change the inilah ya, direction will be ini kali ya, weird and awkward kali kalau waktu kor nyanyi terus suruh membelakangi apa jemaat gitu kan, yang tak menimbulkan banyak pertanyaan yang membingungkan, ini apa-apaan kayak gini gitu. We cannot change that ini ya, apa bodily gesture unfortunately gitu. Tapi paling enggak our understanding the direction of our heart itu should be clear gitu. Waktu kita menyanyi in the priestly function gitu, maksudnya we are not preaching to the congregation, but rather we are representing them to bring the praise of God gitu ya, on their behalf gitu ya, dititipin ke kita gitu. Lalu kita menyanyi kepada Tuhan. Maksudnya kita harus keep in mind bahwa waktu kita menyanyi, memuji, itu kita mewakili, kita membawa serta congregation gitu. Ini bukan something that sudah pasti jauh sekali dengan spirit misalnya show off atau apa sih, nggak mungkin sama sekali lah ya. Nggak ada tempatnya itu di dalam priestly function gitu. Benar-benar zero kemungkinan itu sebetulnya gitu. Kita mewakili jemaat untuk menyanyi di hadapan Tuhan. Ya, jadi kalau prophet itu menyanyi mewakili jemaat di hadapan Tuhan. Kalau priest itu menyanyi mewakili jemaat di hadapan Tuhan. Kalau prophet ya menyanyi atau memberitakan firman Tuhan mewakili Allah di hadapan jemaat. Jadi yang mana yang di hadapan jemaat, yang mana di hadapan Tuhan gitu. So when you stress the priestly function, especially then I think it's a good principle that we learn from the medieval worship gitu. Untuk orang-orang yang bertugas nyanyi di medieval worship itu, they always think the most important audience itu is always God gitu. Jadi betul-betul menyanyi memang untuk Tuhan gitu. A lot of practice in India. Medieval itu benar-benar yang enjoy cuma bisa Tuhan. Misalnya bentuk salib yang katedral bentuk salib itu yang bisa nikmati dari atas bentuknya salib cuma Tuhan gitu. Nggak ada drone kan waktu itu, juga nggak ada gedung yang lebih tinggi yang bisa lihat bentuk salib dari atas, benar-benar nggak ada sama sekali. Ya burung bisa lihat gitu. Tuhan yang lihat maksudnya gitu. Terus those intricate sculpture yang ditaruh di bagian atas katedral itu, siapa yang bisa lihat itu kalau bukan cuma Tuhan gitu. Jadi benar-benar most important audience itu Tuhan dalam hal ini. So I believe itu reflect juga to the choir ministry practice gitu. Same principle apply. Sorry, jawabannya agak panjang.
No, but that's good answers. Yeah, of course that will still require giving our best to the Lord, Bill. But be very careful. There's a thin line when you're trying to give your best, and careful enough not to fall into temptation of performing yourself, how good you are. I think that's important, Bill. In doing that to function as a choir. Bener ya? Okay, let's. Will that answer everybody's question? Somebody's question. Okay, let me ask another question. Oke, sebagai kor gereja bukan pro, apakah oke memaksa menyanyikan pujian yang tidak bisa kita kuasai dengan baik?
Ya, the answer is very clear lah ya, jangan lah. Kita kan according to God's given portion. Although seperti tadi Ndaru bilang, itu God's given portion itu tadi kan nggak static ya, itu bisa keep growing gitu. Jadi bukan berarti di situ terus gitu. Don't forget the parable of the talents itu 2 jadi 4 gitu kan, bukan 2 terus. Kalau 2 terus itu alamat orang yang ke neraka, 2 terus. Kan ada perkembangan di situ. Semua talent ada perkembangan, jadi bukan statis itu. Yet despite bukan statis, again mesti konteks sensitif dengan portion atau proportion gitu.
Like I already mentioned before. So kalau lu dikasih paduan suara yang standarnya, let's say not that very high, of course you don't force them to sing very difficult music like 4 parts or 8 parts, of course, and then you demand them like you almost die, they also die. That at the end nothing happened. So
you will feel the happiness when the choir practice stop.
And then the funny thing, if the conductor say, I'm so cursed with these choir members, then I think it's a kind of stupidity. Yeah, so we need to know our choir level. If they are not that good, maybe we can just give them two-part singing, two-part song, or even if you want to sing one melody line unison, that also can be done beautifully. Yeah, if let's say your choir, they cannot sing many parts. Yeah. Okay. What do you think about percussion or band instruments in church music? Ini pertanyaan sering banget ditanya.
Gimana kalau Ndaru yang jawab aja?
I better answer this. For me, I'm very easy one. Kalau gua nggak berasa comfortable in a church, I don't feel at peace as I worship. So like, the last thing is I find another church lah.
Like you steal my line now.
Yeah.
Aduh.
So yeah. Go ahead, Bill. You have
Yeah,
some...
percussion depend on which percussion that you are going to use gitu kan. There is a lot of choice for percussion gitu. Terus ya ini percussion yang mana? I will recommend percussion yang kalau misalnya dipukul dengan tangan ya, ini kan bisa dikontrol gitu. Maksudnya benar-benar kita juga can feel di tekanan bahasa Inggrisnya ya. Maksudnya
Pressure?
ini ya the pressure and so on, whether kita pukul kekerasan atau enggak gitu. Saya berasa lebih ada ini rather ngomongin filosofi ya. Bukan cuma sekedar alat, tapi kita lebih ada connection sama alat itu gitu. Daripada yang kita pukulnya pakai another alat lagi, sudah itu adalah alat dipukulnya pakai alat lagi gitu misalnya ya. To get the feel dari tangan yang pukul percussion itu, I think it's more beautiful. Terus yang lain yang penting juga waktu digarap mau digarap ke arah mana ini percussionnya gitu. Harusnya kan menghasilkan struktur yang mendukung mendukung teks, mendukung apa yang di reach lewat musik itu dan sebagainya, dan bukan kontraproduktif gitu. Musiknya harusnya ke arah apa ya dibawakan dengan cara yang ke sana gitu. Unproportional use of percussion seperti juga unproportional use of yang lain, bukan cuma percussion sih, tapi ini too complicated chords atau apalah, and pokoknya segala sesuatu yang unproportional gitu ya will destroy the beauty of should take care.
But the thing is also we are being subjective. It's also dangerous sih. Bagaimana penjelasannya bahwa waktu kita menguji karya-karya musik zaman dulu?
Maksudnya gimana?
Bagaimana penjelasannya bahwa waktu bisa menguji karya-karya musik zaman dulu? So how you that time?
Gini. Oke, should be differentiated lagi sih pasti ya gitu. Saya nggak mengatakan semua yang tahan uji so pasti automatically biblically good gitu misalnya, atau biblically sound. Nggak necessarily sih. Banyak karya seni yang bertahan zaman tapi itu high quality, tapi ini ya estetiknya nggak biblical gitu. Of course ada lah gitu. Even seperti kayak tulisan-tulisan juga ada. Tulisan-tulisan heretical ada juga yang bertahan sampai sekarang gitu, karena ada certain quality di dalamnya gitu ya. So of course ujian waktu nggak justify everything gitu, tapi paling nggak inilah salah satu faktor yang dia bisa lewat sudah agak meringankan kita gitu ya. We still need to be precise, do a careful selection lagi tetap gitu. Whether teksnya itu cocok, suitable atau enggak gitu untuk ini kebaktian yang kita pakai gitu. Lalu kalau saudara dari denominasi tertentu ya dengan kecenderungan teologi tertentu ya, of course kita ini ya cek kalimatnya itu yang bisa mewakili iman atau teologi yang kita percaya, atau justru malah melemahkan atau dan seterusnya gitu. So
I think there will be, that's a question and answer time. Bill, you want to say something before we parted? Before we part? I have a good time with you, though, Bill.
Yeah.
You look the same. I remember one Korean artist, Jang Dong-gun. Your wife said that you look like him. Yeah. No, like more handsome lah, Bill. Yeah. Gua nggak berani juga lu bilang lu nggak handsome, lebih dari dia sih anyway. Anyway, Bill, anything that you want to say about choir ministry and then giving our best to the Lord? How we do that in the future?
Mostly already said. I mean in this session. Tapi mungkin sekali lagi to emphasize, to stress ya, in this difficult season. Ya kita try to accept as from God's hand juga. Memang from God's hand. Ini kan God's ordained gitu ya. Terus ya act wisely lah kalau menurut apa itu buku-buku atau literatur wisdom writings. Ya salah satu ini apa being wise ya, kita bisa tahu ini di dalam keadaan seperti apa. Terus kita bersikap seperti apa gitu ya. Should be context sensitive, season sensitive gitu ya. Yang sudah lewat ya sudah lewat. Kita thankful untuk kesempatan yang sudah pernah ada, those precious moments. Tapi waktu ini pun juga kalau menurut Ecclesiastes, again, itu yang beautiful di dalam bahasa asli sebetulnya kan nggak necessarily kayak di terjemahan bahasa Inggris itu ya. He makes everything beautiful in his time. Sebetulnya terjemahannya nggak harus in his time gitu. He makes everything beautiful in its own time. Gitu. Itu bisa diterjemahin his time sih bisa juga, tapi bisa diterjemahin juga everything is beautiful in its own time gitu maksudnya. And itu so liberating ya, buat kita itu so liberating karena masa atau season yang seperti ini juga can be beautiful in its own time gitu. Bukan dengan kita bernostalgia ke belakang, how beautiful enak zamanku dulu toh, bukan model kayak gitu, tapi juga bukan model apa eschatological hope yang rather escaping reality, maksudnya terus menanti tapi nggak bisa live wisely in the very presence gitu. Seperti Yesus bilang di ini apa Matius pasal ke-6 kan, dia bilang itu apa bunga-bunga bakung itu apa lebih indah daripada pakaiannya Salomo ya, pakaiannya Salomo. Kita waktu merenungkan bagian itu mungkin agak sedikit bertanya ya, masa sih bunga bakung bisa lebih indah daripada pakaiannya Salomo? Kalau Tuhan Yesus bilang lebih indah, pasti lebih indah. Terus kita tanyain, what sense itu more beautiful? Jawabannya sederhana, yaitu karena bunga bakung itu appreciate God's kairos gitu. Everything beautiful in its season. Kan di situ kan bunga bakung hari ini indah, besoknya bisa sudah nggak ada gitu ya. Besoknya sudah no more gitu. Tapi paling enggak dia pernah mekar, pernah reflecting God's glory in its time, dan itu beautiful gitu. Waktu sudah nggak ada lagi, ya memang sudah bukan musimnya gitu. So let us appreciate ini apa God's beautiful moment sekarang gitu ya. Kalau kita nggak bisa banyak aktif, nggak bisa banyak singing, ya try to listen more, try to do more music appreciation, belajar ya, menggali, mendengarkan ya, seperti orang yang apa ngomong bagus kan banyak dengar gitu. Orang yang apa ini tuli ya, sulit ngomong kan ya. Jadi apa yang keluar dari kita itu very much depend on apa yang kita terima gitu, apa yang kita masuk ke kita. Hopefully ini adalah season di mana kita bisa menyerap banyak hal gitu. Nggak usah apa menghidupi mitos produktivitas karena kita bukan mesin gitu. Dan ya ini saat-saat di mana kita bisa kayak spons kali ya, banyak nyedot gitu. So waktu Tuhan balikin keadaannya, kita siap untuk membasahi orang lagi gitu. Karena sponsnya sudah penuh air, hopefully.
That's beautiful. That's beautiful.
Thank you.
Thank you, Bill. Yeah. So I think that will be all. So thank you, Billy. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thanks.
Jangan bosan ya, Bill. Next time kita invite. Nggak banyak lah, Bill. Kira-kira sebulan 5 kali gitu ya. I, I believe everybody agree with that. Yeah. So next time I will invite. Well, I plan to invite Reverend Lee Chongmin to have a conversation with me, and I hope everybody can learn something from it. Thank you so much, everybody. So see you next time. Thank you, Bill.
Thank you. Good night. Yeah, yo.